Who's your favorite character from the Autumn Court, and why is it Eris?
Okay, so we had that little like snippet release this week from the audiobook where Eris made like a cameo appearance, and I guess I will confirm and deny that that he is in the book, and he's in this book because he is my favorite Autumn Court character, and that's all I'll say about him. But he's like a character, I love those like characters that are like bad, but they've got like a secret history and like secret motivations going on. And he's just like, he's such a giant asshole at times that it's just really fun. Like, it's fun to write about people like being mean to like the gang, like, like people who don't see like, Rhys and Feyre and Cassian and Nesta as like, the saviors and like the cool,
right.
Like Eris, like, chops them down
unbothered.
Yes.
How much Asriel content can we expect in episode?
A good amount. Yeah, it's so hard to talk about this book without spoiling things, but he is in the book more than Eris. I think.
Okay.
Well, he's.
It makes sense.
He's like
they're best friends.
Yeah, and like Cassian and Az, like they have a close bond, and Az has a lot of his own like shit going on that you'll like maybe get some hints of, and yeah, I'm like kind of obsessed with him. Like, weirdly enough, I have no idea why, but the song that came on that like throwback playlist, Mr. Brightside, the song by the Killers. I always think of Asriel when I hear that song, and I don't know why.
Were you writing something when you
No, but like every time I hear that song, like I think of him for some reason.
Now we're all gonna like listen to it on repeat and like analyze.
No, there's like nothing like in common with the lyrics. It's like some like I don't know, like the vibe,
theme, the tone,
I don't know. There's something about it that I just like, and that's not like his theme song. Let's not go there. It's just like a random thing that literally happened to me.
Because I know that there was a teaser that came out with Asriel, like it was Asriel talking. And I want to say, I'm assuming he was talking to Cassian and Nesta, where he's like, do I need to come up there or something like that? I'm assuming
and be a
that,
chaperone.
like, yeah, like I'm assuming is Nesta and Asriel, like, do they have an antagonistic, like, brother-sister vibe, like friendship, relationship?
I can't tell if it's, I can't tell.
Did you memorize that whole, guy?
The quote, the teaser. Listen,
like
I'm
really
obsessed. I love Asriel.
Okay. So I'm trying to think of a way to talk about it without spoiling things, because
do they have a journey? Like they have their own
kind of like.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that he and Nesta have like a massive like arc, but I think that over the course of the book they start to like recognize a lot of like similar things, and like Nesta sees through some of Az's secrets. he like, I think like he treats her like a relatively normal person, and that's like a rarity in her life. So like she and Az have like I wouldn't say it's like brother sister in the way that like Cassian and Feyre have kind of like a brother sister vibe, but there's just like a mutual respect and like understanding. But then they also like both really do enjoy like teasing Cassian. And I mean like Az has like a like really like dry, sneaky sense of humor that like came out a lot more than I expected in this book, actually. Yeah, and yeah, there's so much I want to say about him.
I know.
That like
we'll take after the book. after we read it.
I want to hear
because-
all your theories after you read the book and his like bonus scene. Yeah, there's
I am most excited.
the crumbs have all been like scattered, little breadcrumbs everywhere.
Oof. Okay. Will we find out what was in the box that Cassian threw in the river?
Yes, yes, you will.
Are we going to be heartbroken? That's a Stephanie question adding on to this question.
I mean, I don't know.
Like, as in, like, because in my, okay, so do you want to know my theory?
Okay.
Well, I can't lay claim to it because someone else said it, but Ava and I both think that it's a great theory that that it was a siphon in the box. I was waiting to see what the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, what's a siphon?
Is that what it's called? Maybe I said it wrong. Ava, text me. It's like, is it something sentimental, or like, I guess you can't say that without it being spoiler, but like, that's what I mean as far as like heartbreaking, because like I think as the reader, if we were to read that, like he had spent a lot of time on something, like if he made her handmade like arts and crafts.
It's something that he spent it's not just like some like piece of crap jewelry.
Right. Like he didn't just go to like a store and was like, oh.
It's something that he spent a lot of time thinking about and tracking down, and that it's a gift that he knows she
would have liked,
would have loved, and was something very precious. And
it's not a siphon because Sarah.
How much Lucian do we get in Silver Flames? Do we get some, enough, more?
You see what he's up to.
Okay.
He makes a couple appearances. Yes, that's.
I don't know why you ask these questions.
Okay. Do you base any of your characters, or have you ever based any of your characters on people that you know in real life?
I mean, aside from the King of Highburn,
right,
like Donald Trump, not really. I'm trying to think if there was. Not really. Like I know Josh is sitting here right now, wishing that I would say that Reese was inspired by him.
Yeah. Well, I think that the fandom thinks that Reese was inspired by Josh. So
no.
He's got the same birthday as me.
Okay, I gave him the same birthday as you as a gift to you to make you happy.
Can whoever ends up with Azriel, can they have my birthday?
Okay.
Will we be proud of Nesta's growth in A Court of Silver Flames?
I think so. I'm really proud of it. Her journey in this book meant a lot to me. Like perhaps more than like any other character I've written. And she's someone who starts off the book in such a dark, broken, jagged place where she's hurting, and she is hurting other people, and she's just like a hot mess. Like, you know, she's beyond imploded at that point. Like she is like whatever is after implode, like, you know, she's the bottom of that. And her journey, without spoiling things, her journey from that place to the person that she becomes by the end. I mean, it just, like, it sounds like so cheesy to be like, it was an honor to write it, but like it was something that just, it meant so much to me, and to get to explore all of that, and like not sugarcoat things, and just tell her story like authentically, at least the way it came to me and the way she wanted it to be told. Like it was like one of my most favorite like writing journeys that I've had. And I mean, she has to she earns the ending. I think, like, she doesn't get it. Like, things don't come easily to her. She has to fight every step of the way. Um, and yeah, so I'm very proud of like the person that she become. Like by the end, like the person that she is at the end of the book. Um, and I'm just very proud of that. And yeah, it's so hard to talk about it without like
without
spoiling
spoiling
things.
I mean, but obviously, I think that it's. I mean, it goes without saying. I mean, it goes without saying because obviously, her journey, like her whole journey, is in this book
Mm-hmm.
because it ends with. I mean, just this particular book, as each one is a standalone. So I don't think that it's. I mean, I think it goes without saying that obviously, she gets some kind of happily ever after.
Yeah,
I
mean, at this point, I have enough books out so that you guys
Yeah.
know. Like, I don't enjoy reading books with like depressing endings where like like everyone's dead or it's like a bittersweet thing where like, the romantic couple has decided to go their separate ways.
Right.
And like I can appreciate those stories like for their literary merit, but are they ones I'd like to reread again and again? No. I love happily ever afters. I like thrive on them, and I think anyone picking up my books will know that like there is a happy ending, but my characters will have to like work hard and occasionally suffer greatly.
Occasionally. We've read enough of your books occasionally. Poor Nessa's been suffering since day one.
And she's still got a little more suffering to go.
It's okay, the payoff is just that much better when she's gone through that much suffering. So here's do we need to read Akatar before Silver Flames?
I would say yes. I think that so much of mostly Nesta's journey is tangled up in the events of the past that like I think you could probably read it without like having read all the other ones, but I think it would have the most impact emotionally if you
knowing where she's coming from,
what she's been through, but then also seeing it from Feyre's perspective and then getting a lot of those events from Nesta's perspective, like in retrospect, like how she felt during a lot of that. So yes, I feel like I should say no. You can pick it up and read, but I like to be like straight up with you guys. Like I think
you could try, right?
Well, but I think that it's going to spoil a little bit though, because I mean there are all these characters, and I'm sure that there are things referenced, right? Like from
Yeah, I mean, and I think most of the things that are referenced from the past get, explained enough that if you haven't read them, you can like piece it together. But I think just to get the full scope of like how much she has hurt some of the people in her life, like it's like you need to like go back to like the beginning. So sorry guys if you haven't read here. It's a lot of reading material.
Well, I will say that going back, because we're doing a reread right now of the series, and going back and reading like the first book, Akatar, and experiencing Nesta in that book, it is also very like now kind of understanding what she goes through in the other books now, like going back and revisiting baby Nesta, if you will. Like I'm just like, oh, it doesn't come off as abrasive, I guess. If that makes sense. So I'm just like, oh, sweetie, I get it. Like it's fine.
But I also like
I didn't okay.
Like I didn't want to write her, like I wanted to write her character like so that like I didn't want to make her like a nice sweet little person. Like I wanted her to be someone with hard edges and like a past that wasn't like easily swept under the carpet. Like she's done things and hurt people in a way that like trust me, like she knows, like she knows like everything she's done, and she there's I never wanted to like make her like an easily likable character. Like I like characters that aren't necessarily likable, and who make bad choices sometimes, but can then look back on them and like
What's Reese the Soma mean?
I don't. We just got a
No,
text
he's
from your mom. Your Josh's mom.
no, so in the comments, it's been a common question that everybody's trying to guess what Reese's last name is.
His last name.